Yo, what's going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we're going over my 8th episode of One Piece Treasure Cruise Limit Break, Worth It or Not. Now, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, they're going to be in the description below. So if you want to see any of the Limit Break batches that have come out to the Japanese version in order, those are the full set of Limit Breaks in there. We're also going to have timestamps for each unit in the description below. So if you don't watch the entire video, it's okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to be mad. I actually put the timestamps in here because this video is going to be very, very long. So of course, all of these videos are very long. So what they are is just the compilation of all the Limit Breaks in the entire game. And what my thoughts are on each limit break, and if you should get that unit limit broken or not. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first unit we're going to talk about today is going to be the brand new Princess Vivi that only came out like 3.5 years ago. And I'm going to just start it off saying, don't limit break this unit. We're going to go over limit break a little bit. She initially has 747 HP and 908 attack. I actually have Ray shot this unit because I don't even have it anymore. But she's going to get a lot of attack on her limit break. Look, 230 attack, which will put her under 1,000 attack, I think? Yeah, still under 1,000 attack. And looks like 200 HP and no extra recovery. Now, if you don't remember what this character does, her character's captain ability is recovers 5 times character's recovery in HP at the end of return. First off, that's shit that she doesn't get any recovery as a unit, but I understand because that would make her a little too OP. Her limit break sailor ability is going to make int orbs beneficial for herself and reduce paralysis by 1 turn. She's crap, don't get it, moving on. The next unit is going to be the OG Ace. OG Ace, if you did not know, was the original 2.5 quick booster, and with his limit break, he's actually going to get limit break going up to 2.58 attack and 1.5 times HP. This is crap. Don't get it. I don't even want to know what this character does, but he does get pinch healing, and he does make Dex Orb beneficial for quick characters, so it has some benefit to it, but it's so trash. It's so trash. Don't get it. It's so trash. All right, the next unit is going to be the OG V1 Robin. She finally got a limit break. She's going to get an extra 130 attack on her limit break, putting her from 1,055 attack all the way up to 1,185 attack. On her limit break, she's going to make Psi Orbs beneficial for herself, and when her HP is below a certain threshold, she's actually going to be able to boost her attack by 250. Now, this is kind of a rare sailor ability to see on certain characters, but I think that's if you're below like 30% HP, then you actually get an extra 250 attack. I don't remember what the threshold is. It only just says when HP is low. Obviously, this is kind of a weird limit break to get, not really a good one to get, but she does get Enrage. And her rage starts at 50, which means to me it ends at 200. Pretty much everyone that starts at 50 ends at 200. So that means that this Robin will have a very high attack after having very low HP. So if you did have an all-int team and you wanted to use V1 Robin, I guess it could possibly have good damage at around 1600 attack. But don't do it. That's just dumb. Don't do it. The next unit up is going to be the OG G3 Luffy, who maxes out at 105 recovery. And the reason I mentioned the recovery is because he's getting more recovery. Because you can so eat meat orbs on this character, right? Right? Meat orbs are the best on Gear 3 Luffy. What are they thinking with this limit break? Why? Why would you ever have this as a limit break, giving him just straight up recovery and no other stats? That's just dumb. Why you do this, Bandai? Why you do this? That is the dumbest limit break I've ever seen. He gets crits and... what is it? He gets crit and pinch healing. The pinch healing actually kind of is nice and does make sense. But why? I think they gave him recovery so that you could use pinch healing. I think that's exactly why they did it. And it looks like the pinch healing is going to be thresholded at 20%. So like that's the only thing that makes sense to me for a pinch healing. The other thing he gets is he gets minus 14 cooldown. So instead of maxing out at 20 turns, he's going to max out at 6 turns. But his special is only doing, what, 15 times attack in strength damage to all enemies, so that's really trash. It's terrible. I mean, it only makes a little sense to get this. He also gets 2 extra sockets, which is kind of nice, but to be honest, a 4-socket unit that's so outdated is just trash. So don't do it. Gear 3 Luffy out. Alright, so the next unit we have here is the OG Quick Killer. Quick Killer is going to get 60 extra recovery, putting him at negative 140. He is going to get an extra 100 attack, putting him at almost at 1549. That's okay, I guess. And extra 200 HP, no big deal. If you don't know, his original captain ability was when you're below 30% HP at the start of, boost attack by 3.5 after hitting 3 perfects below good in a row. So instead of hitting perfect, basically what you would do is you would tap right before it said good, and then you would get a 3.5 multiplier. So he was an old way of getting decent damage, but with chain locks now, I guess you could do some damage with him, but he's pretty trash. The only thing that's interesting about this character, which is actually kind of good, is he is gonna get an interesting buff to his special. And his special is actually pretty good. What it does is that he's going to do 100 times character's attack damage and fixed damage to one enemy. Now, that means that he's going to do, at max limit break, 1550, so that's 155,000 damage to one enemy. And they're going to give him minus 16 cooldown on his max limit break, putting him down to 9 turns. And that's not bad. A 9-turn fixed damage dealer at 150,000 damage fixed damage to 1 unit. That's okay. That's okay. He also reduces your crew's HP to 1, which is interesting. And since he is a striker and cerebral unit, that would be good for Croc team. So if you did need to do fixed damage on a Croc team, I could see some use for that at certain points. Maybe on like Raid Shiki or something like that. You could have a use for it. Otherwise, I'd say for most players, the answer is no, don't do this. Probably not the best idea to get. He also gets the new special cooldown limit break, which lowers his cooldown at the start of the fight, and that part's interesting. He also gets 2 different sailor abilities. He gets 1 sailor ability, and if the sailor ability is going to be when HP is below 30%, it's going to boost the attack by 200. So he's going to go up to 17,700. 17,500. Now so I'm actually curious. He also gets Enrage. And that's going to boost the attack by 50, which is another 200 attack, which would actually give him with Enrage, and if he triggers his own Enrage, and the Enrage being triggered also boosts his attack, then he could potentially do 199,000 damage, or 199,000 damage to one target without candies, and over 200,000 damage with candies. And that's his fixed damage to one unit. So that's kind of interesting because he's kind of a weird niche unit where if you did want to do fixed damage to one unit and lower HP to 1, then you could do that. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. There is some use for that, so that is kind of interesting. Overall, though, I say no. Alright, so the next unit we're going to go over is the OG Thatch. Thatch is going to max out initially at 1,190 HP, 1 attack, and he's going to get an extra 170 attack, which is actually very high in considering to a lot of limit breaks. Most of the time you only see about 190, 110, but like this one's a little bit higher. And you get, let's see, it goes up to 1,360 attack, so that's actually pretty decent as far as attack values go. Not bad, not amazing. His limit break is going to be giving boost the attack and HP of all stats basically by 20, and he's also going to make Dex Force beneficial for himself. He's going to get slot by and self reduction as well as cooldown reduction. The cooldown reduction actually kind of makes sense for him, but he's only going to get -1 cooldown on his hit, putting him down from 10 turns down to 9 turns. But if you did have the max cooldown reduction on his limit break, it looks like you can actually start the fight with the max quick orbs and just pop it initially, and then you get it back after 9 turns after stalling for 9 turns. So on a Lucy team that might be useful, on some other teams that might be useful, just to have matching orbs a little bit more, because what he does is he boosts the chance of getting quick orbs for 3 turns. Overall, I'd say no, because there's a niche use for this unit, but probably not ever any use after this point. Alright, the next unit we're going to go over is the OG Strong-Willed Luffy. This character initially was a 2.5 strength captain, if you wanted to have a strength captain, and basically his use is that he is a 2x strength booster. He didn't have any sailor abilities because this was before sailor abilities were actually a thing. His limit break is going to be boost the attack of strength characters by 35 for sailor ability 1, and the second sailor ability is going to make tandem and recovery orbs beneficial for strength characters. Now that actually is a really good limit break sailor ability. That's actually the best limit break sailor ability you can have as far as limit breaks go. So that's actually a very good one. So if you're running an Akainu team, that's actually kind of interesting because you can get recovery and tandem matching on your Akainu team if you're running this character as a sub. I don't know why you would run this character as a sub, but you could. There are some strength teams that you could run with this character as a captain, or you could do other things like that. But the thing is, with strength teams, you don't really make those too often, so I'd say it's kind of a weird thing to make as a limit break. But it is a little bit niche. Now he's also going to get pinch healing. We don't know what it maxes at, but we do know that it is pinch healing and dex damage reduction. He's going to get -6 turns off his cooldown, which he's going from 18 turns down to 12 turns, which is a welcome change, so that is nice. He's also going to get 1 additional socket, putting him from the original, I think it was like 3 sockets. Oh, from 4 sockets up to 5 sockets. So overall, that's actually a decent limit break, and if you were really in need of a strength booster, I mean, that would be an okay one, but I'd say overall this is not worth getting. Even with the extra 120 attack and all the things he does get, this character is so outdated, and even though he does get a good limit break, this is actually a very good limit break, I'd say this character doesn't really see much use. And if there was a reason that you did need a strength booster more often, even though he has a very good limit break, I'd say no, just because the character is not that useful. However, we are going into more of an age of like type boosting characters, but the thing is, even with even with the new V2 Shanks, he's already a type booster, so you don't need to have the Luffy as a type booster as well, because you're going to be running 2 Shanks. Even if you were running a double captain with 4 strength units, you would still not need this unit. Alright, so this character, this is Stronghold Nami. I've never actually saved this character. I've Ray shopped her every single time because her special is trash. Everything about this unit is trash. And Solaris didn't even bother putting in the limit break because she's just trash and no one cares and no one saves her, so don't do it. Alright, so the next unit on the list is going to be the OG Stronghold Robin. I keep saying new. I don't know why I keep saying new. She starts out initially at 1099 attack, and with her limit break she gets an extra 180 attack, so that's going to put her over 1280 attack, I think that is, or 1279 attack. That's pretty, like, that's a pretty sizable attack increase, and she gets an extra 80 recovery. Since her captain ability boosts recovery, that's actually kind of good, but overall, since her captain ability doesn't get boosted, she's still pretty crap as a captain. Her limit break sailor ability is going to give her Sire's beneficial for this unit, so that part's okay, I guess, but not really. She's going to get side damage reduction, and she's going to be a cooldown reduction character, so that's interesting as well. But she only gets -1 cooldown from her initial special, so that puts her from a 10-turn cooldown to a 9-turn cooldown. Overall, don't do it. This character's trash. The only thing she does is she's kind of like Thatch, and she makes Intorbs increases the chance of getting Intorbs for 3 turns. However, if you did need to get rid of badly matching orb chance or something like that, using this kind of special is actually kind of useful. So that's the only time you ever need to use it, is to get rid of those kinds of things. You pop this unit preemptively before you enter a room, so you don't get badly matching orb chance increased. The next unit on the list is going to be Kalifa, and I don't have her. I really want her because she's actually very useful. As a unit, she's a very good unit. If you don't know what she does, if you're below a certain percentage, she's going to do a damage reducer. So she's going to reduce damage by 50% for 1 turn. If you're below 50%, she'll lower it by 80%. And if you're if you have more than 50% HP, she'll reduce. I'm gonna read this special over again. If you didn't know what she does, she reduces damage received in the next turn by 50%. If the special is activated with more than 50% health remaining by 80. Fuck! This is such an annoying special to say. Fuck. Okay, if you have above 50% HP, she is going to reduce damage by 50%. If you have below 50% HP, she's going to reduce damage by 80%. And if you have below 10% HP, she will reduce damage by 100%. She was the first universal damage reducer, or 100% damage reducer in the entire game, and she's very old but still good to this day because of that 100% damage negation mechanic. Now with a new Legend Robin, she's become less useful, but if you can't run a Robin friend and you need to run a Kalifa sub, this is an amazing unit to have. So definitely a very good unit still to this day. For her limit break, she's going to get an extra 110 attack, so she's not going to be boosted up too much. She's probably going to go up to about 1043 attack. No big deal there. She's going to get slot bind, self-reduction, as well as enrage. Now the Enrage is actually really good for her because that means she can get an extra 200 attack on her max Enrage. So that's actually very, very good. She starts at a 50, goes to 200. Very, very nice to have that. And she's gonna actually get a really good Sailor ability as well. So if her biggest weakness, it was if you got silenced or rewound, then you had some problems. But now there's ways of getting around silence. You can bring like time skip Nami to get rid of that, or you can bring other cerebral characters to get rid of silence, or like the new Shirahoshi. And the other thing that screwed her over was special rewind. So now she actually gets this really good Sailor ability that restores her own special by 2 turns when it's rewound. So that's actually a really good limit break. And she's also going to get another Sailor ability that's going to reduce blindness by 3 turns. Overall, this is so far the best out of all the limit breaks we've read so far today, and this is definitely worth getting. So if you do have this character and you are considering limit breaking and you're going to make a cerebral team at some point, this is definitely worth getting at some point. But you know, there are a lot of other units that are more beneficial for this. She has a very, very good limit break for cerebral teams as well as fighter teams. So if you do want to get her limit break done, definitely do it. It is an awesome, awesome limit break. Alright, Monet. We're going to talk about the Psy Monet. Psy Monet originally maxed out at 1001 attack, and now she's going to get an extra 160, putting her at what, 1161. So that's okay, I guess. It's not great, but it's okay. Her original special, if you didn't know, it was a 1.25 conditional boost for 2 turns, so you're able to get an extra 25% damage, which is medium nowadays. I mean, obviously this character is not as good as it used to be. Her limit breaks are going to be boosted recovery of all characters by 10, and her second limit break Sailor ability is going to be makes recovery in tandem beneficial for herself. So she's also going to get int damage reduction as well as pinch healing. And overall, I say no, because a 1.25 conditional, even though it is self-proccing, is still really, really bad right now. You don't get enough damage on Monet's to even consider it. You get an extra cooldown and as well as an extra socket on this character. So she is going to get a little bit more viability, where she's going to go up to 5 sockets and have 9 cooldown instead of 10 cooldown. So that's all nice, but overall I say no, because this doesn't really seem worth it overall, because the unit the special didn't improve enough for anybody to consider it, in my opinion. The next unit in the list is going to be 3-Day 2-Eye Robin, the OG. This character was really good back in the day because she was one of the few characters in the game that was going to give you a reduced HP to 1, and she was really good on your Croc teams. Now that Croc has made a resurgence, we're actually seeing Cerebral come back in force, so this character might see some play. What's really interesting is she gets a whopping 200 attack on her limit break, which is a lot of attack to give any character. That puts her up to 1356 attack, which is actually very good. And if you didn't know, she's going to be the way her special works is that she's going to delay all enemies for 1 turn, lock orbs for 1 turn, and deal 5,000 fixed damage and reduce cruise HPs by cruise HP to 1. The reason she was so good is she does so many things. Delays all enemies for 1 turn, locks orbs for 1 turn, 5,000 fixed damage, and 1 HP on your crew. All of that together is what made her good. And she initially was on a 9-turn cooldown. She's going to get an extra socket, and she's going to put her up to 5 sockets, which is very nice. Very good for this unit to have that much. Overall, she gets 2 Sailor abilities. The first is going to make recovery and Psy beneficial for herself. So actually kind of good, because you can run this character on a judge team if you wanted to, and have Psy beneficial on her as your int unit if you didn't have a Rage, just for fun. And that's actually a very, very good limit break already, just having a Psy beneficial orb to be able to run on a judge team. Now, she gets 2 different limit break Sailor abilities. The first of which is going to be when HP is below a certain percentage at the start of the turn, boost the attack of Cerebral characters by 40, which is actually very good. 40 attack, basically for Cerebral already, is just very good. I wish it was a higher value, I wish it was 100, but I think that would be a little too OP. But 40 attack for Cerebral is really good, and you're going to get that if you are bursting on your Cerebral team with this unit on the team. Unfortunately, her limit break abilities are really not that great, except for the cooldown one. That one I kind of like. The int damage reduction, I don't get. I think it's Psy damage reduction. I don't think it's actually int damage reduction, because this might be a mistranslation. I'll have to ask Solaris about this later, but I'm pretty sure it's Psy damage reduction, because most of the time it's the counter type, not an int damage reduction. So I think it's Psy, but I'll have to check later. It would have been way better on this character if she got an Enrage and special cooldown. That would have been the best limit break I've seen in a long time. That would have been so good on her. Self-procking in rage. Oh, that would have been so cool. Just like Pedro. That would have been so cool. Unfortunately, it's not perfect, but it is okay. And I think she goes down to like -5 cooldown, -8 cooldown. She's really, really good. But overall, I'm a little disappointed on the limit break abilities. So you don't really need dupes for this character, but she is. I'd say she's worth getting a limit break on because her limit breaks are pretty good. An extra 200 attack is very good. So if you are going to make cerebral teams, there are other units first that you should limit break, but this character is definitely probably the last in the line for cerebral, but definitely worth it. Next unit in the list is going to be 3-Day 2 Luffy. This character's trash. He didn't get a captain ability increase. He does less damage than a 2.5 captain. He's so trash. Basically, he's a 3.5 chain multiplier booster and a 1.25 times HP booster. He's trash. Don't limit break this unit. He is so trash. Do not do it. Oh my god. Ugh. Pass. Next. Next unit on the list is going to be the 3-Day 2-Way Franky. 3-Day 2-Way Franky starts out initially at 1249 attack and goes up by 170 attack, putting him at 1419? Is that right? Yeah, 1419. 1419 attack. That's actually the highest we've seen out of the 3-Day 2-Way batch, so that's pretty good. He's going to get two new sailor abilities, the first of which is going to make tandem beneficial for himself, and the second is going to be completely resist paralysis on himself, which is actually a very good limit break for sailor abilities. So that's actually decent, just for the sailors. His special ability is going to reduce incoming quick damage by 100%, so it's a very good unit for reducing damage completely. He's going to get an additional socket, and he is also going to get 2 limit break abilities, the first of which is going to be Dex damage reduction, and the second is pinch healing. I don't really think you're going to need to get this character limit broken, because he doesn't really seem like you're going to use him often. And whether this character is good, it's just you don't use him often, so I would say no. Alright, the next unit on the list is going to be INT Machvise. I've raid shopped every single character I've ever pulled this unit because he's so trash. If you didn't know what he does, his captain ability boosts the attack of free spirit by 2.75 if your HP is full. His special ability changes recovery orbs into matching orbs. His limit break sailor is going to be make 10 beneficial to this unit, and his second sailor ability is going to be boost attack by 200 if this character is the last character in the chain to attack. He's also going to get an extra 130 attack or so. And he's going to get pinch healing and death. Yeah, he's trash. Don't get it. Pass. Next. Next unit is going to be the original PSY Violet. And I have surprisingly never pulled this unit. And if I have, then I've raid shopped it. But I would have kept it. I think I would have kept it just for the belly. But maybe I raid shopped it. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, this character is going to have a limit break that's going to she's going to get a limit break sailor ability that's going to reduce silence duration on herself by 2 turns. I mean, the only reason I would use this character is as a silence. And her original special ability is going to reduce cooldown on cerebral and fighter characters by 2 turns and display the status of all enemies. Being able to reduce cooldowns by 2 turns was kind of nice, but her cooldown is very long, so I never got it. Doesn't look like she gets too much cooldown reduction. Looks like she gets 1 turn of cooldown reduction. But what's really interesting is that she gets a really interesting sailor limit break ability for cooldown reduction. So she's going to... Looks like she's going to get a lot of cooldown reduction initially. So she might actually be really worth limit breaking if you're going to be doing lots and lots of speed farming teams with both cerebral and fighter teams. I'm actually really interested to know what this max is at. I think it would be 10 turns or 15 turns, or because that would put it all the way done, and that is actually really interesting to see. So you get an anti-heal reduction as well. So overall, I'd say this is a no. But the fact that you can do this for speed farming teams, it might be a yes, depending on how many copies of this Violet you have. If you had an extra 8 copies of this Violet lying around, I mean, yeah, but only if you can rainbow max this character would I say limit breakers. Otherwise, I'd say 99% no, but I mean, for speed farming, it might actually be kind of cool to run this for cerebral. So, interesting. Next unit on the list is going to be the OG Dex Momonga. Dex Momonga originally maxes out at 1296 attack and is getting an extra 80 attack, putting him up to 1376 attack. It's okay, I guess. He's going to get 1 extra socket and -3 cooldown. Putting him down to 9 turns. 9 turn 1.5 conditional, you say? That's not bad. That is not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, Solaris did not get the chance to put in the limit break stuff for this unit, so I'll have to translate it on the fly. But it looks like he's going to get Enraged, so he'll get a plus 200 attack from the Enrage, and also going to get a crit. So he's going to get a 10% chance to do 3% extra damage, which usually means it's going to be pretty good. So Momonga's actually pretty good. He's going to get a Sailor ability. Now, unfortunately, the thing that would make this character super, super worth limit breaking is if his limit break ability here was makes strength orbs beneficial for his crew. But unfortunately, it is only himself making strength orbs beneficial for himself. So that's an unfortunate thing. He would be so good if he had that as strength orbs beneficial for the entire team. But unfortunately, it's just for himself. And getting a 9-turn conditional is actually pretty good for speed farming teams. Unfortunately, there is Dex Cavendish, which is a 10-turn 1.75. This is a 9-turn delayed attack booster, which can be used with the time skip Brook. So that part's kind of cool, but overall, I am not the biggest fan of this. The Enrage is really good. The attack value that he gets is decent, and the extra socket is nice. His initial Sailor ability is already boost the attack of Slasher and Cerebral by 75 if you have a Cerebral Captain. So, I mean, there's a lot good about this unit, but my overall opinion is no, because there are better Cerebral conditional boosters like Adventure Mode Sabo. So, it's really difficult to say yes to this unit. Maybe for a Slasher team, but there are very few Slasher Cerebral Captains that you're going to be running, which is unfortunate. Overall, it's a good limit break, but he has so many flaws, I'm going to say no. Next unit on the list is going to be the OG Quick Rayleigh. This is version 1 Rare Recruit Rayleigh. This unit on release was actually really interesting, and the camps were split. Like, half the people thought he was really good, the other half the people thought he was really trash. And getting a full board of Quick Orbs is really, like, wasn't good at the time, because you could do that with Thatch. There were other ways of getting Quick Orbs. There's other ways of getting matching orbs, and like it was around the time V1 Boa, I think, came out with the 6+. So I don't think this character is like really good initially, but then there was content that came out that really made it good for a Lucy team, because since you get a full board of Quick Orbs, it's actually good for a Lucy team. And beyond that, not too much. But he gets a limit break Sailor ability that is going to boost the attack, HP, and recovery of all characters by 30, which is interesting. He's going to get an extra 120 attack, putting him up to 1418 attack. Overall, decent there. He's going to get, looks like, -2 cooldown, and extra sockets, so going up to 5 sockets, and put him down to 9 turns. So a 9-turn Orb Manipulator, that part sounds pretty cool. 9-turn Orb Manipulate for full board on a Lucy team. As far as speed team earnings go, that's pretty decent. Not gonna lie, that's pretty decent. He's also gonna get Enrage as well as Slot Bind Self-Direction, which are the 2 best limit breaks to have together on Cerebral teams, in my opinion. To have Slot Bind Self-Reduction, because that is so good as a defensive thing, and getting the Enrage is also really, really good. Best stat increase, putting him up to plus 200 attack. So if you gave him candies and limit broke him, he could go up to potentially to plus an extra 200 from the Enrage and plus an extra 200 from attack candies. If you did run this character on a Cerebral team instead of like a Lucy team, you get him up to 18, 19 attack, which is actually really high as far as an attack value goes. So overall, I'd say no for this unit, even though he does get a really good limit break, and he's actually easy to socket now with Colosseum Rayleigh and a couple other things. But my initial impression is no, because I have other ways of getting orbs. But if you did want to run a speed farming Lucy team and wanted the fastest orb manipulator for a Lucy team, this would be on the same speed level as Colosseum Nekomamushi as far as getting the full board matching orbs. Otherwise, I'd say no. Alright, the next unit on the list is going to be PSY Duval, and this character he's okay. So he initially is going to be a 50% damage reducer as well as boost attack of side characters by 1.75 for 1 turn. I thought this character was good when he was released, and there were certain situations where you did need him, and there was certain Kai content that you needed him for. But to be honest, this character was trash and is still kind of trash because you almost never need a side booster. And if you're running a V1 Shanks team, then you could need a side booster, but I mean, V1 Shanks. He originally had 1120 attack, so he's going to extra 160 on the limit break, putting him up to 1280 on the attack. Kind of low, but okay. Get an extra sailor ability here that's going to boost the attack and HP of side characters by 50. He's going to get pinch healing as well as int damage reduction on his limit break. The pinch healing is pretty crap, just like most of the pinch healers we're seeing. They're okay, but not amazing. And he's going to go down by 2 turns in special, putting him down to 12 turns, as well as get 1 extra socket, putting him up to 5 sockets. I mean, you get an extra 50 attack and HP on side characters with the limit break, so if you are running a side team, that's good, but I'm going to say no, because you never use side Duval. The next unit is going to be the DEX Elizabeth, and DEX Elizabeth originally maxed out at 810 attack, not 1810. And is going to get an extra 150 attack, putting her up to 960 attack. So you get her is going to get a limit break sailor ability. It's going to boost the HP of all characters by 100. She's also I don't even know what it is. Is going to get crit as well as pinch healing. The crit doesn't look like it's like amazing, but it looks okay. They're gonna get -2 cooldown and an extra socket. No, don't get it. This character is useful in certain situations for a 0.5 chain boost as well as 100% damage reducing, but the amount of times that you need this unit is too low to actually want to limit break it. I'd say no, because you hardly ever use this unit. Next unit in the list is going to be Quick Wanda. I actually did limit break this unit already because I was very happy with the limit break. Initially, they're going to get it's going to go up from 1243 attack all the way up to 1413 attack. And one of the reasons I limit broke this unit is because I pulled so many dupe Wandas. I just pulled a bunch of dupe Wandas. And when you max the enrage on this character, so you get an extra plus 200 enrage, just like you've been seeing all the time. So whenever you take damage on a cerebral unit, you're going to actually get an extra 200 attack on this unit. So that's very, very strong. As far as limit break sailors, Wanda is going to get an extra 40 to all stats for cerebral characters, going down from 16 turns down to 14 turns, which is really good, and get 1 additional socket, so up to 5 sockets. Overall, this is actually a very good limit break. Wanda is an amazing unit, and she already has a really good sailor ability initially. There are other units that are better than Wanda as far as limit breaks go, but overall, I had a lot of Wandas, and that's why I did it. And I probably should have put them on my Nami or some other units first, but I had like 8 Wandas or 7 Wandas, so I said, yeah, let's do it. So I almost got a Rainbow Max Wanda. So I mean, if you had 7 Wandas in your box, you'd probably do it too, right? So overall, I'd say yes, but there are other cerebral units to do first. I'd say Kalifa is more important than using this unit for the damage reduction and where the meta is right now. But Wanda is really good. Next unit of this is Rare Sicilian, not Colosseum Sicilian, because I accidentally clicked that one first. That's the first time I recorded this. He's going to get, he initially had 1457 attack, and he's going to get an extra 150 attack, which will put him at 1607 attack, which is actually pretty sizable as far as attack values go. He's getting an extra -2 cooldown, putting him down to 12 turns, which is very good, and it's actually getting a pretty good sailor ability where he's going to be able to reduce paralysis by 1 turn for your entire team. That's actually really good, because if you have it with Wanda, that's -2 turns of paralysis for your entire team with Wanda and Sicilian, who pair perfectly together already. Sicilian is also going to get slot buying self-reduction as well as enrage. Going to get the extra plus 200 attack on his limit break. Definitely a very cool limit break. Overall, I really do like his limit break, and I haven't done it because I literally am out of potions. So once I do have potions, I'm probably going to do it, yeah. Probably gonna do it. I have way more than enough orbs, and yeah, I'll do it. For most players, 50-50. I mean, there are other units you should do first, but this is the cerebral one. So, I mean, if you're doing a cerebral meta, there are other units that would do first. Sicilian is actually a really good orb manipulator. So, if you have Zunisha and Sicilian, it's a guaranteed full board of orbs. So, if you do need an orb manipulator on your cerebral teams, he is definitely a great unit to bring. I'd say yes. Yes, this is worth it. The next unit in the list is going to be Dex Kinemon. Dex Kinemon is going to get an extra 50 recovery, which is important because his captain ability is based on recovery, and an extra 100 attack, putting him up to 1477 attack. He's going to get a limit break that's going to make recovery in tandem beneficial for himself. He's going to get slot bind, self-reduction, as well as pinch healing. And he's going to get an additional socket as well as -3 cooldown, putting him down to 10 turns. Now, that's not bad. Okay, the reason that's not bad is because he actually already does like an 89,000 wave clear with his special, which is 60 times character attack. With an addition to this, because he's getting the extra 100 attack, that'll put him up to 88,000 wave clear before sailor abilities. So, I mean, if you do have sailor abilities that increases attack or other units that increase his stats, then I would actually put it, could be a 10-turn very good wave clear. Overall, that's not bad. I mean, a 10-turn, almost 100,000 wave clear is pretty good. So there are situations where that's really good. Overall, I'd say no, but if you are speed farming and you want a speed farming character that does wave clear, this is not bad. It might be worth getting attack candies on too. Who knows? The last unit that we're gonna do for rare recruits is gonna be the OG Momonosuke. Momonosuke is gonna get an extra 260 attack, which is the highest amount I've ever seen given to a rare recruit. Which will put him from 690 attack all the way up to 950. Well, at least he has some attack now. Now, his sailor ability is actually pretty decent, where he does get a matching orb every single turn, so that is kind of good. And there's no, since he always gets matching orbs whenever you have a colored orb, or if you're using like a Zunisha ship or something, it's tandem and matching. So this character is free spirit, so if you're running this with Marco, that's full board matching every single turn on this character. He's also striker, so if you run him with the Aokiji bike, there's only one orb that's not matching. So I mean, yeah. His special ability is going to switch orbs slots between orbs once and add 0.5 to the chain multiplier for 1 turn. He's still trash. All right, but his sailor abilities are going to be reduce silence duration by 1 turn. He's going to get an additional socket. And he's going to get -1 cooldown, putting him down to 8 turns. An 8-turn 0.5 chain booster. Still trash. Pinch healing. He's going to get pinch healing as well as int damage reduction. Overall, that's crap. And yeah, don't do it. He still sucks. Even though he gets an extra 260 attack, he's still trash. The next unit on the list is going to be OG Raid Ivankov. No one's ever used this character ever, right? Limit break sailor ability is going to be make strength dex and recovery beneficial for this unit. When other characters use a special, reduce own cooldown by 1. Okay. Randomly change. Their special ability, if you didn't know, is going to be randomly change all orbs into either recovery, strength, dex, or quick. And change your own orbs to quick. I mean, maybe it's good on a Lucy team. Maybe. It's trash. Don't do it. Trash. Don't do it. The next unit on the list is going to be Strength Kuma. Strength Kuma initially had 1435 attack, which will get an extra 90 attack, putting him up to 1525 attack. It's pretty good. He's got 2 sailor abilities from his limit break. The first one is going to be if HP is above 100% at the start of the turn, boost on attack by 50. The second sailor ability is if HP is below a certain percentage at the start of the turn, boost own attack by 75. Kind of weird sailor abilities, but okay. He's going to get dex damage reduction as well as enrage, and his enrage is going to start at 50 and go up to 200, putting him at over 1700 attack, 1725 I think, at when he is max enraged, which is going to be really easy to attain on a Cerebral team. On a powerhouse team, maybe not so much. He's going to get 1 cooldown as well as 1 additional socket. Overall, I'd say the limit break is worth it because you can farm this really easily, but I'd say this is way below a lot of other units. Like, I would do Kalifa and a lot of other units way before this. I would do Wanda way before this. Sicilian way before this unit. Overall, it's worth it. It's just like, this is like a back burner thing. You can wait on this one. Now here's the unit I was actually kind of excited about, Shogun Franky. And Shogun Franky is one of the most interesting raid bosses out there. He's initially have 1,400 attack, now he's going up to 1,500 attack, which is actually really good for his special, because his special does 100 times character's attack damage in typeless damage to all enemies. Instead of a 140,000 wave clear, it's now 150,000 wave clear, so that's good for his special. He is going to get -1 cooldown, putting him down from 17 turns down to 16 turns, and also get an extra socket, putting him from 3 sockets up to 4 sockets. So kind of an interesting limit break so far. He's going to also get pinch healing as well as slot bind self-reduction, which is kind of unfortunate. I really hope wish he had enraged, because if he had enraged, that would be awesome. but he's going to get 2 sailor abilities. The first one is going to be boost the attack, HP, and recovery of all characters by 30. And the second sailor ability is when any other character uses a special, reduce his own special by 1 turn, which actually shores up his main weakness, which is having a very, very long special. So if you are even using this special, and you do use other specials beforehand, it's going to reduce his specials by 1 turn. So if you did use a free, if you did use a free spirit cooldown rooster like Kinemon, instead of getting -1 cooldown, you would actually get -2 cooldown. So you go from 17 turns down to 15 turns if you use Kinemon, etc. So definitely interesting as the limit break goes. For most players, I would say no, this is not worth getting. But if you are interested in making some fun teams, this is actually pretty good. I do like this. I would probably not do this right away. If I have a lot of extra potions later, I might do this. Then the list is going to be Colosseum Hawkins. Colosseum Hawkins is originally maxed out at 1,278 attack, and he's getting an extra 100 attack, putting him to 1,378. He's going to have 2 limit break sailor abilities. One is going to make quick orbs beneficial for himself, and the other one's going to be making strength orbs beneficial for himself. He is going to have enrage as well as slot bind self reduction, which is really good, and he's going to get an extra 200 attack at max enrage. He's going to get -5 cooldown, which is really good because his special ability, if you did not know, is really similar to Colosseum Lucy. Instead of making, I think Colosseum Lucy makes the middle row Dex, I think, and the bottom row quick. Colosseum Lucy makes the middle row quick and the bottom row Dex. Hawkins will make the middle row Dex and the bottom row quick, as well as the top row strength. So you get a full board of matching orbs on your Lucy teams. And that actually is really good because that's even better than the Rayleigh, because on Lucy teams now you have a free to play unit that you can get fully maxed out for your teams that you have full board orb matching, your quick and Dex orb matching all the time. So that's actually really good. I like that. I like that you can use this character on a Lucy team very easily and on a 7-turn cooldown. So that's really nice. Also, with the new Croc, this is really good too, because the new Croc is strength to make your top row strength, so that's really good for the new Croc. You make the middle row Dex, so you can use the Hawkins as well as, say, a Treasure Mode Sabo if you didn't want to wait for your Treasure Mode Sabo special. And you can make the bottom row quick and have whatever units for quick there as you want. So overall, I really like this unit. You can use like V2 Law on that team on the bottom row, whatever you want. Very, very good limit break. I like this a lot. For most players, I'm going to say this is not really worth getting, but this is worth getting for me, and I will probably do this. But for most players, I'm going to say no. For me, yes. He's also going to get 1 more socket, which is going to put him from 3 sockets up to 4, which is also good. So having a 4 socket on the Hawkins is very, very nice. I do like that. And I'm probably going to do it. I'm probably going to do this one. But for most players, I would say don't do it. The next unit we're going to be talking about is Colosseum Ace. Now, Colosseum Ace also gets a sizable attack increase, increasing his attack by 235, putting him from original 1,271 all the way up to 1,406. I think that is, right? Yeah, 1,406 attack, which is pretty, not 1,406, 1,506. 1,506 attack, which is really good. That's really good. I'm really surprised. They did well for Colosseum Ace. Okay, 1,506 attack, nice. Now his first limit break ability is going to boost the attack of free spirit and fighter characters by 100. What? I mean, you can't run this on Luffy Ace, but what? 100 extra attack on that? Okay, okay. They're trying to make this Colosseum character compete with the treasure mode Ace as well as Luffy Ace as a spot. So that's really interesting already. It's going to make Psi Orbs beneficial for free-spirited fighter characters. This is like this is the best Colosseum limit break I've ever seen. Like this is a free-to-play unit, right? Holy crap! He gets pinch healing and int damage reduction, and his pinch healing is pretty good. His damage reduction is pretty good too. So I mean, gets an additional socket, extra 35 recovery, and yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. Wow. Colosseum Ace. Wow. I'm surprised. I am really surprised about Colosseum Ace. That is good. That's a really good one. The next unit on the list, is this really funny? So, really funny, next unit on the list is going to be Colosseum X-Drake. And very funny, Colosseum X-Drake has less attack than Fortnite X-Drake. I don't know what's up with that, but it's true. I don't get it. But the Colosseum X-Drake is going to have 1,230 attack, and you get an extra 150 attack on his limit break, putting him up to 1,380 attack. I still can't believe the Fortnite has more HP than him, or attack than him. That's crazy. He's going to start out at 12 turns and get an extra -5 cooldown, putting him down to 7 turns. I like how they limit broke this unit and instantly made him better than the Kai Colosseum X-Drake. Why that? Why? That's just mean. 7 turns though. Jeez, that's bad. That's good. The unfortunate thing is you have to be low HP to use a special, so I don't know how you're going to get an HP reducer on the team, but maybe it's possible. His limit break is going to make when HP is below a certain percentage boost his own attack by 50 and also get int beneficial for himself, not the team. He's going to get Enrage as well as special cooldown reduction, and he's going to hit plus 200 attack on his max Enrage. The answer is no, don't do this unit. He's trash. The next unit on the list is going to be Colosseum Machvise, and this is one of the units I was most excited to see, and we're going to see if he's good. So he's originally have 1198 attack, which is really low, but now he's getting an extra 130 attack on his limit break, putting him up to 1,328 attack, which is decent. It's not bad. His first limit break sailor ability is going to boost the attack of striker characters by 35 and make strength orbs beneficial for himself. So overall, not the best, but it's okay. He's going to get an extra socket, putting him from 4 sockets to 5 sockets, so that's really good. And he's also going to get -2 cooldown, which is very good as well. It's put him down to 15 turns. So definitely makes him usable for striker teams a little bit more. Now you don't have to wait for 17 turns to get the special up, which is one of the bigger problems I had with this unit initially. He's going to get slot bind self reduction as well as quick damage reduction. Overall, this is decent. If you're really going on your striker teams, this is definitely worth getting. I'd say for me, this is not worth getting right away. I might get this later on, but I have no rush to get this unit limit broken, and this is kind of a back burner thing for me. But this is definitely worth it, just not for me right now. Maybe if you are an only striker character type of person, you have a lot of strikers you want to limit break, this would definitely be worth it for you for your free-to-play teams or whatever you want. And Colosseum Machvise is one of the most optimal units to bring on a Nekomamushi team if you do need color affinity. And I think he's the only color affinity striker booster that's good anyways. Next unit on the list is going to be OG 5+ Robin. She's going to be initially maxing out at 1,187 attack and get an extra 130 attack, putting her at 1,317 attack, I think. She's going to have 2 really good sailor abilities. The first one is going to be reduces paralysis on herself by 3 turns, and the second one is going to be reduces silence on herself by 3 turns, which is really good. Because what this character does is it removes silence by 3 turns for your whole team, and then reduces cooldown on your team by 1. Really, really good sailor ability to have this. So that she gets kind of a TS Nami style sailor, so that's really good. I really like this sailor. Very, very good breakdown. There's very few characters in the game that reduce silence on themselves as well as reduce silence for your team. So if you are in need of one of these characters, already this character is a yes, because this character also gets Enrage. It gets an extra socket, putting her up to 4 sockets, I believe. Yeah, 4 sockets. And it's going to get -3 cooldown, putting her down to 11 turns. As far as really old free-to-play units go, this is a very good limit break. I am impressed what they did with this Robin. They did a really good job here, and they made her actually a viable unit that I would want to limit break. If you don't have your time skip Nami or you don't have a character that removes silence on himself like Raizo or time skip Nami, then this is definitely worth getting in order to have a silence remover that reduces silence for your whole team. The next unit on the list is going to be 5+ Shopper, which is the only level 50 5+ or 5-star unit in the entire game. Super funny. I never understood this one, but alright. He's going to be maxing out at 1,236 attack, and he's going to get an extra 100 attack from his limit break, putting him up to 1,336 attack. He's going to make his first limit break sailor ability is going to make tandem orbs beneficial for himself, and the second is going to boost the attack of all characters as well as HP and recovery by 30. He's going to get int damage reduction as well as pinch healing. Going to get -3 cooldown and an extra 2 sockets. That will put him at 4 sockets. Overall, this is a big upgrade for this unit. He's going to go down to 9 turns, which is really good because his special ability deals side damage according to HP, which is not very much, by the way. And for fighter characters, changes blocking and matching. So a 9-turn block orb changer is actually really good. and fighters don't have too many block orb changers, so this is actually a very good unit and definitely interesting for speed farming teams. Overall, I'm not going to do it, but if you are like a really fighter heavy type person, you really need fighters on your team, and you're going to be doing the 5+ Robin anyways, do 5+ Robin 100%. But like this unit, if you really need a block orb changer on a really short cooldown, this would be a good unit to get because he does get a lot of sockets. And his sockets are very easily farmable because it is a chopper, and you can farm raid monster chopper for his sockets, and so it's a very easy character to farm out. As far as getting multiple copies of this unit, I mean, he's a base Straw Hat, so it's pretty easy to get the base Straw Hat characters. And now we're into the legends. Let's go over the 6+ Boa. Now, 6+ Boa originally maxed out at 1,480 attack, which at the time was pretty decent, and now it's kind of low. But with her limit break, she's going to go up to 690 attack, and if you get plus Mouse Candies, that'll be 1890 attack. Overall, decent, not amazing, but decent. That's pretty darn good. 1890 attack after Candies and stuff. It is a legend. The first thing is for Sailor abilities is she's going to get boost the attack HP of quick characters by 30, and the second is going to boost the attack of quick and Psy by 75. So you're going to get an extra 105 attack on your quick and Psy teams. Very interesting as far as limit break goes, as far as attack values go. So this character is always a sub because you would run the only time you run this character nowadays is if you're running this character on an NL team. And getting an extra 105 attack for your entire NL team is really interesting. So that's kind of cool. Boa is going to get strength damage reduction as well as int damage reduction and cooldown reduction. Yeah, I don't know about that. She doesn't get any cooldown. So I'm going to say overall, this character is really not worth limit breaking as a legend goes. There are tons of other legends to do first. But if you are going to be making some NL teams, the fact that she gets an extra 30 recovery for your NL teams is nice. An extra 105 attack for your NL teams is nice too. So yeah, but like every other legend first because it's Boa. I mean, well before Sengoku. You do this character well before Sengoku. Next unit on the list is going to be Psy 6+ Sabo as well as Psy Sabo, which is one of the most exciting limit breaks of the entire set. Now, Psy Sabo originally maxes out at 1,534 attack and gets an extra 220 attack on his limit break, putting him up to 1,754 attack, and with max candies, he's going to go up to 1,954 attack, which is very, very good. Very, very good. He gets an extra 85 recovery, which is really good for his team as well as his kit because he does boost his recovery by 1.2. The team's recovery by 1.2, so getting that extra recovery boost is nice as well. As a sailor, he's going to get 2 sailor abilities. The first one is okay. It's going to boost all stats of free spirit characters by 50, which is really good. But the second one is amazing. It's going to make int orbs beneficial for free spirit characters. That is such an amazing sailor ability. I'm so stoked on this one. This is a very, very good sailor ability. Especially with this new free spirit badge, he's one of the most optimal subs to run on that team for the int orb beneficial. But he did get replaced kinda recently with a 2.25 booster that you can bring, which is the new version 2 Shanks, which does make int orbs beneficial as his own sailor, which we'll talk about in a little bit, spoilers. But he does get replaced by another character for a lot of Luffy Ace teams. He's also going to get an extra, one extra cooldown minus, so he's going to go down from 17 turns down to 16 turns. He's going to have 3 different limit breaks, of course. He's going to get slot by itself reduction, int damage reduction, and pinch healing. His pinch healing is actually pretty decent. His pinch heal is one of the best in the game, so definitely a very good limit break for pinch healing. But overall, he did get power creeped really fast, but if you don't have the V2 Shanks, of course. The next limit break, of course I already got, because he's retarded! He's one of the best in the game, if not the best limit break ever. This unit for 6+ Crocodile has, in my opinion, the best limit break in the game. Holy crap, it's good. You get an extra 200 attack on his limit break, first putting him out to 1,702 attack, and with max candies, 1,902 attack, as you can see on the screen. This limit break is stupid good. It's just like the last limit break that we saw. It's going to make cerebral characters increase by 50 for his first sailor ability, and the second is going to make Dex orbs beneficial for cerebral characters. Now, here's where it gets awesome. His first limit break is going to be quick damage reduction. Second is going to be crit, and the third is going to be enraged. Now, his enrage is a plus 300 attack So if you have low HP or you get yourself low HP with the Pedro, that will put you to a whopping 2200 attack before Sailor abilities, which is retardedly high. I cannot wait to get this Enrage done. He is stupid strong. Oh my god, this is good. 300 extra attack. And we're seeing this on every new Cerebral limit break. He is so good. His crit is also very good because his crit is going to have a 50% chance to do 7% additional damage. Now, in my opinion, crit is one of the worst limit breaks in the game. And I initially thought it was one of the best because it was like really cool because you can crit. And then I realized over time that consistency matters and crit is kind of like whatever. But I mean, if you're really into EP-ing and you like to see those crits, it's nice. But crit has no negatives, but it also has no positives. So it's like... you don't really get anything out of crit, because if you're going to kill a character anyways, what's the crit going to do? And the one thing I really think you really can get out of this is extra overkill damage for your V2 Dofi. So that's the only real thing I think that crit is nice for. So if you did want to get some massive hits on your V2 Dofi and you want to EP it up, it's really good for that. The next unit on the list is going to be Inuarashi. And Inuarashi is a questionable limit break. It's not bad, it's just questionable. Now, the reason it's questionable is originally he maxes out at 1,535 attack, and he's going to get an extra 205 attack on his limit break, putting him up to 1940 after max candies and max limit break, which is very good, right? All of that's really good. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a very high attack value. Nothing wrong. His first Sailor ability is going to boost the HP of Cerebral characters by 200, and the second Sailor ability is going to be boost the attack his own attack by 200 if he's the last character to attack in the chain. I get it. It's kind of a chain boosting character. I totally understand that. You're never going to run double Inuarashi, but if you ever did run an Inuarashi on your team, you want to last hit with this unit. That's actually a decent Sailor ability. I'm not going to lie, that's really good for him. He's going to get Dex damage reduction, critical strike, as well as Enrage. So he's also going to get that plus 300 Enrage. It starts at 75, goes up to 300. So all that's very good, and he also gets the same critical chance as Croc, 50% chance to do 7% extra damage, and Dex damage reduction. Essentially a very similar limit break to Croc. Of course, he gives HP to your team, which no one cares about Cerebral characters on that, but whatever. But he does have that 200 attack on his limit break. So if you are going to last hit with this Inuarashi, then you get a total of 200 plus an extra 300 attack from the Enrage, which extra 500 attack. Putting him, if you did attack last with this unit, he is going to have a whopping 2454 attack if you attack with this unit last in the chain. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty cool. I definitely want to try that out. Now, Enrage does increase the damage of your special, so you're going to be doing... the way the special works is you're going to do 60 times attack and tap timing damage on top of your special, which is really interesting. The new Garp, I think, does 55 times, so that's actually really good. 60 times 2,254, right? So what's really interesting about this Inuarashi is that if you have Enrage, I think, I'm not sure, I think Enrage affects it. But if it does affect it, you get an extra 135,000 damage on top of whatever attack you're doing initially. Before that, his highest value that you could get before limit break was going to be 100,000. So it's actually a 50 times increase, a 50% increase. It's not 80 times, it's 50 times, it's 60 times. Oh, sorry, you're right. It is 80 times, it's 80 times. I'm sorry, I messed that up. It's 80 times 1735. Okay, so Inuarashi originally had 138,000 damage that you added onto your attack as a tap timing bonus because it's times 80 attack, 80 times your character's attack, and this is before limit break and everything else. If Enrage applies to your tap timing bonus, so if you pop your Pedro special before you pop Enrage, which I don't know if it affects it, but it might, that'll be 2,254 attack times the 80 times character attack, putting you up to 180,000 attack. So that's an extra 42,000 attack that you're going to get per hit, which doesn't seem like a lot. Times 6, that's 1,000,000 extra damage versus like 800,000 extra damage. So it's not a ton of extra damage, but it does increase it, right? And let's say if you did need to kill something with 1,000,000 HP, that that you couldn't HP cut, that reduced your attack by 99%, and it had 1,000,000 HP, but you really had to kill it that way. I mean, that would be a reason. That would be a reason to get this limit break. But to be honest, this character is an EP limit break that's totally not worth it. Otherwise, I basically don't like this limit break. The only thing that I do like is that enrage does affect your wave clear damage. So what happens when you do an enrage is that this character is actually going to do a very, very high amount of wave clear. Single target damage. Originally, this character would only do about 100,000 damage to a character, and with enrage, it's going to do 135,000. It's okay. So as far as limit break goes, it's pretty shit. But if you want to EP and flex it up, this is great. He's also going to get -1 cooldown, putting him down to 13 turns. EP and flex it up for the win. But if you're not going to EP in it and you're just trying to like beat the game and play well, this is shit. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Limit Break, Worth It or Not. My name is Psycho Poco. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support on the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want notifications on all my videos, make sure you hit the bell notification right next to it to get notifications every time I drop a video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.